Hi, everybody. This is Nate. Welcome to my channel and welcome to my lovely co-host, Helen.
You better. You just better. Thank you, Nate. We were having a discussion. Oh, low blow. Thank you for having me. It's always
Oh, you're
fun.
so welcome. And so this is Heroes and Villains,
Right.
our usual show. So let's start with you, ladies first. Do you want to start this week with villains or heroes?
But it's ladies first. Where? Okay, let's start with heroes, just to cheer everybody up, right?
Yes.
And my heroes this week are pilots and flight attendants because the air traffic controllers are not getting paid because of the shutdown. You might reconsider that air flight that you had planned. Anyway, they're not getting paid. And so the pilots and the flight attendants unions got together, and and this is both United States and Canadian too. They have, the unions have gotten together and they're giving free meals. They're bringing in, pizza and stuff to the air traffic control towers to feed them because they're working without pay. And well, actually, they're getting partial pay now, but at the end of October, they'll get nothing at all. And what they're getting now is not enough to survive on. So
Well,
I just think that it's really important for everybody to understand and to make it known to politicians that unions and solidarity are the way out of a lot of our problems. And uh, it's very important that we support unions and support labor solidarity. It's so important. So good for them.
well, I feel, and
Excuse
then all the other jobs that are essential workers that are doing work during this shutdown.
I listened to a podcast. It's called Muckrake. I've had the guy that's the main guy. His book, I covered it, and he came and talked. Jared Yates Sexton, his partner on his podcast, his wife works for the government and is not getting paid, and they're starting to really worry.
So
I have
sad.
to cough. Hang on a second. I've got a frog in my throat or something. I'm gonna mute. Okay, all
How's
better.
that? Okay, that frog
Thank you. Thank you.
escaped. Yes.
Yeah, yeah. He went to Portland. Okay. Okay. So yeah. So there, people are beginning to really feel it.
And I mean, I've done readings for people who are really struggling. They're working with not paid, and yeah, it's not, of course, pilots and flight attendants. I mean, that's huge, but other functions as well. What would be your second hero?
Well, now we debated about this before we started recording. My hero, when I first made the list the other day, was the American people who were protesting because
Yeah.
good, 7 million people, good, that's what we need to do. But I've been thinking about it quite a bit, and I'm worried. Of course, I am advising caution. There's a lot of patting each other on the back kind of rhetoric going on right now. It was very successful in the sense that it made a point and it was peaceful. And, humor and satire are great tools and they're important tools. But I have a really strong feeling that people are resting on their laurels. Everyone's gone back to work. They did their part. It's over. I think this is should just be the beginning. I think we need to have a national strike. I think we need to make a statement that's going to affect them in their pocketbook. And the reason that I feel this way is because what happened immediately after this very successful demonstration of the attitude of the American people, we got the famous fighter pilot bombing meme of Trump that was so disrespectful because he dropped a load on the Statue of Liberty, you guys, and that which just shows his contempt for democracy. And what was front and center today? The White House being demolished by this guy.
Yeah, a
I
couple
don't even know
comments
what to say
here.
about it.
I mean, I actually wanted to put the No Kings protesters are heroes, and I think they are heroes. And everyone who protested, we all are heroes. If we participated in this, um, I think it mattered. It still showed numbers, 7 million people. It's a lot. I understand. I don't think that people went back to their little world and say, "Oh, I did my job. It's okay." Though, I feel like everyone knows, like we're on guard, and this is just one of a number. This is actually not the first protest. There was one before. Um, I understand how we need to up level here because it's a fine line between being peaceful because he's trying to provoke and use that against us, but also putting more pressure. So, examples that I've seen, for example, in Europe, there was a day, I think it was in France a couple of weeks ago, no one bought anything.
That see, and we need to be doing that every week. Bernie Sanders made an impassioned speech. Where were the rest of the speeches? Where was the entire Democratic Party this weekend? Why were they not
Uh,
out in full force?
I've seen Cory Booker and Adam Schiff. They were together. There was a good video there, but that's just me looking on social media. I'm sure that members of the Democratic Party were there, but I I understand that there needs to be more strength without being violent. It needs to be peaceful.
There needs to be civil disobedience and there needs to be indignation. We've shown our disagreement in humorous ways, but I like that. I think it's effective, and I think it's a soft way of protesting. We now need to show strength. We've shown solidarity, and we've shown satire,
Mhm, mhm.
sarcasm, and that's good.
And we
But
showed
that's just the beginning. That is just the beginning.
and we showed strength with those numbers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because
So
he
I'm
said
not
it
I'm
was
not
nothing.
belittle.
He said it was nothing. Very few people demonstrated. Okay, well, we know that's not true.
Well, did he open his mouth? Because if he did, he was lying.
Well, he
Anything
said
he
that.
says
He
is a
said
lie.
that. He said it was, if I remember well, he said it was a very small crowd. It was just people trying to create trouble, paid by George Soros.
Did you get your check yet? I
I
didn't
mean,
get any money.
it was just completely the usual.
Yeah.
But he acknowledged it that way. The AI cartoon acknowledged that he was upset about it in a way.
It's disgusting, humiliating on
It
the
was
world
very bad taste.
stage.
It was
This
very
is the
bad.
President of the United States.
We should, I mean, I think the point that I'm taking on the most would be the point that you made about democratic leaders that were maybe not as visible as they should have been.
God bless Bernie Sanders. He's doing God's work. He is always there consistently with the same message and the same level of strength every time he speaks. He doesn't hold back, he doesn't mince his words. Just why are they not all doing that? I
Mhm.
just
I agree. I agree. Do you have another hero?
No, and everyone's going, God, don't pick me as your hero. No,
Well,
that's not why.
I believe the protesters are heroes, regardless.
Yeah, I agree. No, I agree. And now let's
Up
get
it,
get
up
busy.
it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay, so what are we reading on? We should read on that. How will the next protests be? How will the next protests be? Interesting.
What did you get?
First card, I think, is very interesting. The Two of Swords. There's a decision to make here. I think that goes back to what we were saying. What else? What crossroad are we facing? What decisions are we facing in relations to those protests? Good question. Four of Pentacles, I think that means that we're holding on the pressure. That pressure needs to be hold on. Also, number four, the four legs of a chair. There needs to be more structure, maybe more organized. They were very well organized, but I'm talking like from the ground up, not in each city, but as a movement, as a united movement.
Unified. Yeah, yeah.
Yes. The Five of Pentacles worries me a lot, a little bit, because it could mean, I don't know what it means, but it could mean that the momentum is just not fully there. And I know it was there, but is there a loss of momentum? Question mark.
Well, I got the Fool. I got the sense of naivete about it. I think that that it kind of describes my feeling about what happened. It was good, but there's a rose-colored glasses that it did more than it actually succeeded in doing. I got the full arm of the law against them. I got them being tied, them being restrained by something. And I got what they're being restrained by is power will be met with power. The more they escalate, the more pushback, that give and take, because pentacles can be about power and not just about money.
Yeah,
I
yes, of
think I
course.
think the government is going to use everything in its power to restrain them and hold them back. They're going to feel, but there's a naivete about this whole thing. I don't think the American people have fully processed and internalized exactly where we are right now. Look at the picture of the destruction at the White House. That says everything. It's a metaphor.
Well, and I think what I would add is that there's something that's very damaging as a process since January, since Trump took office. It's just been going crescendo a little bit more, a little bit more, a little bit more. That's what you use in medical terms when you want to desensitize a patient that has an allergy. You
Mm-hmm.
do a little bit, you do a little bit, you do a little bit,
Yeah.
so it
Yeah.
doesn't feel so bad. All of a sudden, they realize, oh, wow, that's actually, I went to this huge dosage, but it was so gradual that my body absorbed over time. If, let's just say, if he had taken office and the 2 weeks later that the White House had been damaged the way that it been damaged today, it would have been such a huge shock. But the fact that it's been going on for so many weeks, that is the problem that I see. That's the biggest problem. It's coming as a shock, but not so much because we're getting desensitized.
I was just going to say that. You took the word out of my mouth. Desensitization. That's right. It's acclimatizing people to it little by little by little. Every time you think it can't get any worse, something worse happens. And people don't think it can get any worse. They don't react enough. So the next thing happens and they just can't
Yeah,
believe it, and they don't react, and the next thing happens, and that's what's
to me,
going on.
that's the full card is that is the adjustment that we're making mentally
Mhm,
when because it brings with fatigue, it brings with exhaustion, it brings
mhm.
with, and that's frankly what dictators do.
Well, he is a dictator. You and I had a
Yeah.
conversation. We have this debate actually all the time. People are familiar, they've heard us debate this before, where you think that, well, look, this court has made this good
That's true.
decision, or this court has blocked this, or
Yeah.
this court and I read you that article this morning about the fact that they have whittled down, Trump has whittled down, fired, forced out, gotten people to resign or retire from their judgeships in the immigration courts. So I think, what was it, 600 judges are left across the country for almost 4 million active cases. So they'll throw you a bone by blocking something. And now the Supreme Court turns around and says, well, go ahead and send the National Guard into Portland. And
But
while you're at it, let's fire 60 more judges so that you can't process immigration cases. And
I
people are,
understand that. But also, if I think I don't know which website takes account for all the executive orders and
yeah,
law and
yeah,
everything, and it's just massive what's held in court, massive, 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 unlike no other president. So there is the two sides of the coin, of the same
yeah,
coin.
yeah.
Um,
But your
it-
point, whittling
yes,
away, they're whittling away at things that don't make a big splash, but really put up barriers to bringing about change later, positive change. So I have to play devil's advocate. The devil and
no,
I are
they
business.
are using that strategy of inching more, more, more. And then it's almost like when you turn your head, you see, yeah.
Yeah.
My heroes, I started with Mandani, the candidate of the New York uh, city office, like the mayor, running for mayor.
Yeah, he's running for mayor.
I kind of I watched him a while back. I didn't watch him for a while, and then on social media, YouTube, and all of that, I just saw him in debates. I realized like the election is coming really soon, like November
Yeah,
4th,
yeah.
and I saw him doing extremely well in those debates and in the campaign.
Well,
Extremely well.
I haven't seen him much, but
Yes.
every time I listen to him for even 2 minutes, I just, I love his delivery. He's reasonable. He
Yeah.
doesn't get upset. He just smiles when they bring awful things up, and he argues, well, we can help people if we do this. We can make things better for regular people if we do this. He's reasonable.
Yes, yes. And there's a lot of good things to say, I feel. I still, okay, well, maybe we'll read on that. The second hero is the EU Commission. They want to speed up, not that it's going to be done quickly, but they want to speed up Ukraine integration. And
Integration into
into
NATO.
the EU, into the
Oh,
EU.
you. Okay, okay, okay.
Ukraine has applied to become part of the EU. It's very hard to become part of the EU. There's a lot of, it's a step process. You have to, everything is scrutinized, everything is looked as,
You have to have humanitarian laws. You have to have a certain kind of economy.
yeah,
Your
I mean, yeah,
voting
like no
process. Yeah,
corruption and all of that.
yeah.
And it takes a lot of time for countries that have applied to pass the test.
And how do
But
you pass it when you're being bombed all day long?
of course, but they are the baby steps where, so what we're talking of fast tracking is them going through the process. So, but the European Commission wants a decision in December, not if they integrate the EU, but to actually start the formal process. That's really good, really, really good. I'm all for it because it's
Yeah.
gonna
Well,
help them. It's gonna help them. Um, it does also create challenges. That's a different discussion for the EU with countries that have disparities in how much they pay people and create competition, and there's a whole set of issues. But generally speaking, it will help them. It will help the EU.
Well, the
Um,
EU is in a lot of ways, it's as much a financial arrangement as it is anything else, right? I mean,
well,
like an economic allegiance. Yeah.
but let's remember that the EU was created. The first goal of creation of the EU was peace.
Yeah. Yeah. And I always think of it like
After
that.
World War II, the Rome Treaty, 1957. And so that was, and then it went to freedom of people, freedom of commercial freedom, giving more freedom. And most importantly, actually, as a hero, I forgot her name, but she should be in my list. The lady who created the Erasmus program. I don't know if you're familiar with this program.
No, no. What is that?
Erasmus program, it's it's fantastic. It is a school and university exchange programs within Europe. So,
Oh,
like a student in Italy can spend 1 year in Spain, France, Germany, back then the UK, Ireland, and then they exchange. And so it makes it very easy for all all students to actually go to foreign universities. And that was done as a brilliant idea that it is going to really help bringing people together. As people travel, they
yeah.
it has definitely a sense of connection and peace and diversity and understanding the other and languages. I mean, and so, well, she passed away, this lady who was the head of the program, like a couple of days ago. But that's
Oh,
actually one of the iconic program of the EU is the Erasmus program, the student exchange program. And actually, that was one of the things that was very close to tilt Brexit the other way, because when Brexit happened, then the British student then they lost the exchange program.
that's a pity. You know, there are a lot of universities in the United States that have university
Yes,
to
yes,
university agreements, and so it's not governmental, it's not national,
yes,
but
yes,
on a school level, they
yes,
do
yes.
foreign study programs. And so the arrangement is the student doesn't pay anything different to study in a foreign
Oh,
country. They just have to get themselves there. You know, they pay their
that-
transportation and then room and board, books, all that stuff. It's the same as if you were at home. And if you can scrape together the money to get your
yeah.
child into another school for a while, the benefits are immeasurable.
But that's how that was not Erasmus, but that's how I personally immigrated to the United States and became a student and then became a citizen. That was my entry point. I was a student in the
So now
US.
we know who to blame, huh? No.
I mean, and now via an exchange program.
Yeah, yeah. It's very valuable. I mean, one of the, well, you know how important it is and how valuable it is? What was one of the first things they did was start arresting graduate students from foreign countries.
And
Why?
visa and stopping Chinese visa.
Mhm.
All right, I think we digressed a little bit. Talking about youth, um, Gen Z, lots of protests in Africa and particularly in Morocco over inequality and corruption. People are rebelling. The youth is rebelling.
Now, how
In
old is that?
Gen Z, let me look my phone.
Yeah, I can't keep track.
X, well, that's a wide range. 13 to 28.
13.
Age range in 2025, 13 to 28. It's a generation, 13 to 28 years old, but most likely who are doing the protest is that 20 to 20,
So
20.
what comes before them? X?
Oh, there's X, Y, and millennials.
Hmm. I have children, I think in
All
all
three.
they're all
Yeah.
different. Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so but there are those Gen Z people doing the protests, and it's not easy in countries like Morocco, where there's a
Yeah.
king and it's not easy. All right, so what are we gonna read on? I have an idea.
Oh, go
Mandani,
for it.
the EU, or the Gen Z?
You
Mandani,
pick. Yeah,
Mandani. Do we still see him winning? I mean, I know that I've checked like a number of times.
I have two. Yeah, yeah.
Just do a last check.
Yeah, because it's in 2 weeks, right?
Yes, Mandani, is he getting?
What did you get?
Queen of Cups, the compassion, the emotion, also the whole emotion about all this. The High Priestess, very interesting. I didn't expect that there. Is he spiritually led or the spirits are working in his favors?
Well, keep in mind, look at that card. She's sitting on the moon, the symbol of
That's
Islam.
a good point. Four of Wands, a very good card for this
Institution, yeah.
question.
Yeah, for a politician. Yeah, well, look what I got. You got the high priestess, I got the pope.
Oh,
I got the Hierophant. And I think it's because of this, his charity,
yes.
his concern for other people. Yeah, I think it's very positive.
Moving on to villains.
Oh God.
Oh, the George Santos pardon.
Oh, I can't believe it. So he got 7 years for fraud. He stole money from donors. People donated to his house campaign, I guess, and he just pocketed it. And he stole their identifications. And I don't know what he was probably grifting, making money out of their IDs. And he was in a minimum security prison with fewer than 150 prisoners, but that was too much. And so they let him out. You have a 34-time convicted felon
Pardoning.
pardoning somebody who's fraudulent, grifting, cheater. And oh my God, the lies that he told in his life. He's not in prison for that, but his whole life has just been one endless lie and fraud, and it's awful.
Unbelievable. The second is Mitch.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
You saw the video. I mean, I feel sorry for him when he fell. You saw that video.
No, I didn't, but I heard
Well,
about
like
it.
he's in horrible health. There was a video where someone asking a question and it was at the Capitol and it just fell.
Nate, it's elder abuse.
And honestly, I'm not picking on him because he
Mm-mm.
failed, but he shouldn't be there to start with.
That's why I'm saying it's elder abuse, because I'm sure he's driven by his own ambition. He's consumed by ambition. He'll never let go. But it has to be bolstered by other people. They are holding him up. They are almost literally holding him up. They're
They were. He has to be
encouraging him.
carried
Yeah.
over. I mean, come on.
You're fine. Everybody loves you. Keep at it. You can do it. Taking up the slack and doing the work for him and putting him in the front as their sort of front man, because he'll do what the right wing wants him to do.
It's wrong. It's wrong.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, not, it's kind of an obvious one, but the third villain was the Trump's poop AI video. We talked about it. So, I mean, I don't know what we're gonna read on.
Well, I
Probably
have one. I have one. Oh, you have.
for my. Let's read on Mitch McConnell.
Okay. We
What's
both
coming?
had DeSantos. That's why I'm confused. We both
Oh,
had.
okay,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Let's read on McConnell. What's coming up for Mitch? Moscow Mitch. Moscow Mitch.
Oh, is he going to Idaho? No. It's a town. It's a town in Idaho.
Mitch McConnell. What's gonna happen to Mitch? Well, what's imminent? What's about to happen to Mitch McConnell?
Oh, go ahead. What did you get? Oh God, I'm afraid to ask. What did you get?
The Hermit. This is him
Mm-hmm.
walking with a cane. Literally walking with a cane. And I'm seeing a hot problem.
Cups walking away and but come on, you don't have to be a genius.
A transformation.
Yeah, paradigm shift.
We are
That
mean.
doesn't take a lot to come up with that, though. I mean, well, my cards are all cockeyed. I think
All
I
right.
shuffled them.
So you're villains. Oh yeah, you have
Well,
Garvey Santos. I'm sorry, I didn't realize there was a
oh
duplicate.
no! It's there's enough corruption there to go around. We can share. No, it's not a problem. But that's why I was pushing my villains because I was confused because we both did it. So Caroline Leavitt, oh my God, who plugged her in? She never stops. So this is terrible. You know, the level of immaturity and stupidity that's going on now is just, you know, there's that meme that Trump put out, but then the Huffington Post reporter asked her a question and said, who picked Budapest for Trump is meeting
Yeah.
somebody in Budapest? Who picked Budapest? And her answer was, your mom.
What?
That's what she said to the reporter, your mom. You know, like a fifth grader, like, I know I am, but what are you? So the Huffington Post wrote an article about it, and I have a little tiny quote from this because it's hilarious. The Huffington Post is devastated and is fearful of asking any more questions, let alone escalating with, I'm rubber, you're glue. Are you familiar with that? It's a
No.
playground taunt in the United States. I'm rubber and you're glue. Whatever you say bounces off me and sticks on you. What the implication is, this is beyond immature. This
Yeah.
is
Cool.
juvenile, puerile, ridiculous. Yeah, ridiculous.
What are we reading on?
I don't know. I
The
don't know.
no, we haven't done that. A few cards on the Trump Putin meetup.
Oh. You mean like the conversation that he had before he met with Zelensky?
No, the meetup that's about to happen.
Didn't he just meet up with him, or was that only on the phone?
No, there's a future supposedly in-person meeting.
Okay.
Is that even gonna happen?
Well, he told Zelensky, just give Putin the land he wants.
I know.
That's what he.
Well, that was actually we're gonna discuss that on your channel, which everyone you should check. Alan
Oh,
Shadow.
current events. Yeah,
Um,
it's all blurred
yeah, yes.
together.
Okay.
Yeah.
So will this Trump Putin meeting will actually happen? Two of Swords. That's not even this. They say it, but justice. Yeah, that doesn't sound
Somebody's
like,
backing out.
and death.
Oh, Two of Cups reversed.
Like it's 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 on hold.
What's going on with those two? It is weird, isn't it? It's,
It's still on hold.
but the whole, I don't want to use the word
Dynamic.
relationship, but the
Dynamic.
whole
dynamic.
Thank you. Interaction with them is just, it's toxic and unpredictable and psychopathic. And you can't figure out from one day to the next what's going on. It's so weird. Do you get that feeling too?
Well, yeah, I mean, there's a lot of issues there, but why did that meeting pop up? I mean, we don't even know when, unprepared. There's an agreement on nothing. It's a mess. Eh, eh, there's just hope from Zelensky that after the Gaza deal, that there's hope that maybe something could happen in Ukraine, but it's a completely different animal. Yes, the Gaza-Israel conflict is huge,
I was
but
going to say, what Gaza deal?
I mean, yes, that's also the thing. It didn't quite work either. I've heard actually that I saw an article today that Vance is going to Israel to ensure that the deal is holding.
Oh, well, then we can all relax.
All right, Helen, I think we're going to do a wrap. Thank you for being here. Thank you, everyone, for
Thank you,
watching.
Nathe. Thank
Please,
you.
we really want to know who your heroes and villains are for this week. Or do you agree with ours? Or maybe not.
Or can you please find some heroes?
Or suggest some for next week that we
Yeah,
can write down.
yeah,
Thanks for
seriously.
watching. Thanks for watching.
Thanks.
Thanks, Helen.
Thanks.
Bye,
Thanks.
everyone. Thank you.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Okay, I'm